Today's our topic is Jainism. This is my brief information. I am Dr. Nalini Avinash Wagmare, working as an assistant professor in Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapur. Jainism. Before that, we have to study the background of this Jainism. There are many causes to start the Jainism in India. We have to see what was the situation of the world at the time when this religion started in the world or in India. In the 6th century BC, in many countries of the civilized world, there was a great religious ferment. During this period, many reformers raised their voice against the prevailing religious malpractices. In Persia, Zoroaster tried to purge the prevalent religious abuses. In China, Confucius preached his philosophical doctrines. It was this age of revolt that saw the rise of Jainism and Buddhism in India. So the ground for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism was already laid. The Vedic religion ceased to be sublime and satisfy the philosophical and ethical needs of the community. It had become ritualistic, senseless slaughter of animals in the name of the religion created a new feeling of pity for animals and the desire not to hurt life. First of all, we have to, this is the background or introduction. Now we have to see the Jainism's background. The one cause of the formation of this religious sects was the spirit of the 6th century BC was marked by religious ferment in India, which resulted in the formation of some new religious sects like Jainism, Buddhism, Shaivism, and Bhagavatism, or you call also as a Vaishnavism. The age, because we had such movements not only in India but in several other countries of the world. As already I have explained that philosophical speculation of varied types from some centuries back were also responsible for it. By that time, the world Vedic religion had ceased to be living force and necessity of change was felt in religion. The rigidity of caste system created a widespread urge for bringing about changes in the religion and society. So here the Vedic religion, caste system, other rituals forced to rise the new religion in India at that time. Then the increased prospects also necessitate change in the social and moral order, which could be possible by change in religion. The synthesis of the Aryan and Dravidian cultures in the plain of northern India and the emergence of big kingdom consisting of people of varied races and cultures also made it feasible. The new ideas challenge the established social order, particularly the caste system, the religious rituals and sacrifices, the supremacy of the Brahmanas and the dead customs of the society. They were based on the pure individualism and spiritualism. So that time the socio religious, economic are the main causes to rise these religions in India. Then Mahavira was the founder of Jainism. He is also called as the 24th Tirthankara of Jainism. And Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. Both are the contemporary of that time. So I have put the two great religious reformers photo here. Then at that time also in the religious history, we have also parallelly study the Shaivism and Vaishnavism in the next two lectures. Then causes to rise of new religion in 6th century BC. First one is the change in Vedic religion. What changes we find in early Vedic period? In later Vedic period, whole religious system was changed. Under that, the animal sacrifice system started. Under in later Vedic period, the faith in magic and charms started, along with the blind faith to have in their supernatural powers, black magic, superstitional belief, blind beliefs. The system started at that time. This is also one more reason to start the new religions in India. And another reason is the supremacy of the Brahmins. It is also one more cause to start the new religions, because in Vedic period the Brahmin are not mediator between God and man. So in the later Vedic period, the supremacy of the Brahmins because of yajnas, performing sacrifices, and other things. These are the reasons. That's why it's one more cause to start the new religion in India. Then caste system. In the early Vedic period, caste system was not there, but later Vedic period, caste system taken a rigid form, touchables, untouchable, high and low, pure and impure. And these are the reasons the people uh, think that this caste system is divided the human beings. So that they people wanted to one of the religion which where they find equality. So this is one more reasons to start the new religions in India. And another reason is that the difficulty language, because most of the religious texts at that time written in Sanskrit language. So common people, traders, unable to understand that language. Only the see in the four one Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras. Only the three community people have a right to understand or study these things, and remaining common people are unable to read, write, listen this religious text which are in Sanskrit language. So they are facing the problem to understand the things. It is a one more reason to start the new religions in India. Then intellectual confusion due to the theory of karma, jnana, and tapamarga. In religious texts, some philosophers says that some text says that if you follow the karma marga, do your duties, you get the salvation. In some texts, they say that you practice the get the knowledge, get the salvation. Some they say that you practice the meditation, you get the salvation or mukti. So this time it's confusing the common people. Is karma, they have to follow karma marga, jnana marga, or tapa marga. It is the one more reason to start the or raise the new religion in India. Then new religions in India, we have to study here. Basically, in this topic, I am going to explain about the sources of Jainism, causes of rise of Jainism. Already I explained what were the causes of rise of Jainism. Then founder of Jainism, causes to spread Jainism in India, then causes of failure of Jainism in India, and contribution of Jainism to Indian culture and literature. Then Mahavira. Then sources. There are plenty of sources available to study this religion. Literary and archaeological records are the two main categories that give evidence of ancient Indian history and culture. Basically, this Jainism also. The literary sources includes the literature of Vedic, Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit, and other literature, along with other foreign accounts also give us a lot of information about to understand Jainism in a detailed manner. The archaeological explorations and excavations have opened the great landscapes of new information like caves. This gives us a lot of information about to understand the Jainism. Then the Jain and Buddhist literature available us to understand Jainism and Buddhism in India. Early Jain literature is mostly written in Prakrit language. The Prakrit language was a form of Sanskrit language. Pali language was a form of Prakrit language which was used in Magadha. Mahavira and Buddha are considered as a historical personalities equivalent to God. They have created Jain and Buddhist religious ideology respectively. So both Mahavira and Gautam Buddha, both are contemporary. So while we are studying the Jainism, we also refer the some Buddhist texts to understand the Jainism, Jaina philosophy principles. So those are helpful to us to clearly understand the Jainism in a detailed manner. The historic information mentioned in Jain literature also help us in reconstructing the history of different regions of India. Then some Chinese travelers who visited at that time, some foreigners visited at that time, especially we have referred to these Chinese travelers, they have kept their account, and these travel accounts give us a lot of information about to understand the Jainism in India, even Buddhism also. Fahiana visited India in 5th century BC. Wensang visited India in 7th century, and Athens visited India in 7th century. These all give us a lot of information about the contemporary socio-political religious condition of India along with Jainism and Buddhism information. Then Uyan Sang had given valuable account about the Harshavardhana and some other contemporary kings of northern India. Uyan Sang mentioned Harsha as a follower of Buddhism, while in his epigraphic records, Harsha mentions himself as a devotee of Shiva. Such contradictions may be considered due to the fact of multi-religious nature of Indian rulers, which might confuse a foreigner. Payana Huensang traveled many parts of the country, and they have given an exaggerated account of Buddhism during that period when they are visited in India. Basically, the Chinese traveler interested to collect the information about the Buddhist religion, its philosophy, and they are also travelers as well as they are wanted to know more about the Buddhism in India. Monuments of ancient India, Ajanta. Then 16 Janapadas existed at that time. Anga, Magadha, Kashay, Koshala, Vaji, Mala, Vassa, Kuru, Panchala, Masya, Swaresena, Asakas, Avanti, Gandhar, and Kamtija. These are the 16 small regions, political places at that time. Then it is from one of the early Buddhist texts that we have a list of 16 Mahajanapadas, which the Aryans had established just before the rise of Buddhism or Jainism. So already these are the northern part of India like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, South Kuru, Malwa, Rawalpindi, other areas. The identification of some of these kingdoms, such modern areas, is a little controversial. Of these 16 kingdoms, 4 were more powerful than the rest. Magadha, Koshala, Avanti, Vassa are the very popular places at that time. This is the map of 16 Mahajanapadas. Then life of Mahavira. Pashvanatha, the 23rd Tirthankara of Jainism. In fact, the real founder of Jainism was its 24th Tirthankara Mahavira. His childhood's name was Vardhamana. He was born in a suburb of Vaishali called Kundanagrama about 540 BC. His father Siddhartha was a wealthy nobleman of the Nayar clan, and his mother Trishala was a sister of Chetaka, an eminent Lichavi prince of Vaishali. He married to Yashoda and had a daughter called Priyadarshi. This is the brief information about life of Mahavira, early life of Mahavira. Then later on, after marriage, he left his family and became a monk after the death of his parents at the age of 13. He abandoned his clothing after 13 months and became a necked monk. After 12 years near the village Zimbika Grama on the bank of river Rajapalika, he got enlightenment under a sal tree. Henceforth, he was called Mahavira. After getting the knowledge, Mahavira wanted to spread the philosophy thoughts to his subjects. Here also we find the while studying Jainism, later on we find the two main sects found in Jainism, Svetambara and Digambara. The remaining 30 years of Mahavira's life were spent in preaching his doctrines. The main areas of his activities were confined to the boundaries of Magadha, Anga, Mithila, and Koshala. These are the areas where he spread his philosophy and principles. His followers were called Nirgranthas or Jains. He died at Pavanapuri in Patna district at the age of 72, about 468 BC. Then what were the principles of the Mahavira, which he taught? No faith in the Vedas and the supremacy of the Brahmins. As already I explained that rise of the Jainism, here the Jainist first principle that they have no faith in the Vedas and the supremacy of the Brahmins. No belief in the existence of the God. That is also one more principle. They are also against the theory of karma and soul. They totally follow the ahimsa principle in their life. Theory of knowledge is rational theory is they accepted. Then five vows or Pancha Mahavratas basically taught by Mahavira to his disciplines or his subjects. Ahimsa, which is the most important principle taught Mahavira to people. Ahimsa means non-violence practice in their life through their warning, through their thinking, through their activities. They never follow the violence. They totally practice the non-violence in their life. This is the first principle. Second one is the satya, that is truth. Always speak the truth. Never say lie. If in critical situation also you totally follow the right path, speak the truth, adopt truth in your life. Third one is aste, not steal the materials of the others. Work hard, do your duties, and earn money in a right manner. That is the third principle. Then aparigraha, non-possession, not to keep lot of the things well with themselves. So another last one is the brahmacharya, self-control. See, in this is the one thing which added by the Mahavira. Already four principles are found in the up to 23rd Tirthankaras. Mahavira added the one more, that is brahmacharya, self-control. To get the salvation, control yourself and get the salvation. That these are the five Pancha Mahavratas. Every Jainas has to follow these things in their life. Then on the basis of use, after the Jaina principles spread here and there, but in the later stage, the Jainism was also divided into two parts or two sects. On the basis of use of clothes, the Jainas were divided in two sects. One is Svetambaras, who wear white clothes, and Digambaras, who practice nudity. Probably this division took place 200 years after the death of Mahavira, when Bhadrabahu, who had migrated to south, returned to Magadha and found the Jainas wearing white clothes. So till today also we find these two type of community people or two sects exist in Jaina community in India. Then Jaina temple architecture causes to spread of Jainism in India. What were the reasons why this Jainism spread in India? Its closeness to Hinduism. It's one more reason, like truth, non-violence, salvation. These are the principle, simple principle, understand by the people. So few people adopted the Jainism. Then compromise with the caste system. The Jainas opened their door to all. Then acceptance of Hindu deities and its temples. It is the one more reason the now the Jainis built the temples, caves, and the spirit of tolerance we find in Jainism. Then personality of Mahavira is the main reason to spread Jainism in India. Support of certain powerful rulers also supported at the time to the rulers patronized this religion. That's why it is one more reason the religion spread in other parts of northern and south parts of India. Then the closeness to the spirit of its age, simplicity. There is only five principles. If anybody adopted those principles in their life, and they easily became as a Jain. So there is no necessity of practicing the yagnas, take the help of the higher community, spend a lot of money. So these are the few reasons. That's why it is also one more reason to spend that Jainism in India. Then acceptance of the language of the people of for its propagation. It is also the common people language adopted at that time. It is a one more reason to spread the Jainism in India. In such a simple religion, why it was failure in India? It's a one more reason we have to study that one. It had to compete hard with both Hinduism and Buddhism. So when Jainism rise in India, one side Hinduism and contemporary Jainism with another religion started, that is Buddhism. So in this between the Jainism was there. So it is later on after Mahavira, it is very difficult to preachers to compete with this two religion. Both religion want propagating their principles and popularize those things. It is one reason to fail over our decline of Jainism in India. Then absence of popular religious preachers after the death of Mahavira means there is no strong preachers after death of Mahavira. That is a one more reason to decline of Jainism in India. Then another reason is the division into two sects, that is Svetambara and Digambara. Both are following their different views, different ways, different principles. So people are confusing one. So it is the one more reason to fail over Jainism in India. Then absence of protection by the later rulers. Other rulers after they are not given any patronage to Jainism. So it's a one cause to failure of Jainism in India. Then revival of Hinduism under the Guptas, Cholas, Chalukyas, Rajput kings contributed to its decline through it still survives in India. So means later rulers, mainly they patronize the Hinduism, Shaivism and Vaishnavism. They also look after the Jainism, but not too much patronize. That is the one reason that's why that Jainism was declined in India, where it was born. But still we have found the some Chinese community people or religious follower existing in India. Then what there are the contribution to Indian culture and literature? Jain literature, Prakrit and Magadhi and Apabhramsha language is popularized the Indian literature. Then non-violence, ahimsa, paramo dharma. The non-violence is the basic strength of this Jainism given to Indian culture. In theory of karma, the simple and scientific theory always propagated by this Jainism is also contributed to Indian philosophical thought. Then Jaina philosophy is based on reasoning, rationalism. So this is the one more, the Jainism contribution to Indian culture and philosophy. Then are some Jaina pillars, temples, statues, caves contributed to enrich the Indian art and architecture. Still, these Chinese temples, statues, caves, pillars existing in India, where most of the Chinese follower visited there. Even tourists also attracted to these places and visit to India and promote the heritage and culture, tourism. And social reforms, no faith in caste system, which is the basic principle of this Jainism. Although it's not some extent not success, but it is a one contribution to Indian culture. So this is a Jaina painting. Then again, Jainese contribution to Indian art and culture. While we are studying many places, we find where the Jainese architecture we find like Mathura, Gwalior, Junagadh, Madhya Pradesh, Chittor, Mount Abu, Jain tower at Chittagarh, caves of Orissa, and the 7 feet high idol of Gomateshwara of Bahubali in Karnataka also Jainese architecture we find there. Then marble temple at Mount Abu is a beautiful Jain art and architecture. Then these are the reference you can refer to understand Jainism in a detailed manner. DNSA, History of Ancient India, Manohar, publication New Delhi in 1998. A.L. Bhasham, Wonder That Was India, Rupa, Mumbai, 1971. Bhattacharya book, Glimpses of Indian History, which was published in 1918. Then Das Gupta's History of Indian Philosophy, Cambridge publication, 1955. V.D. Mahajan book, Ancient India, S. Chand and Company, 1960. Then Raghunath Rao P, Indian Heritage and Culture, Sterling Publisher, Private Limited, India, 1988. So these are the reference book you can refer to detail understanding of this Jainism. So thank you very much.